Okay? Pretty simple, but again, we try to avoid stuff that's going to make us look bad. Because even though there's a rule that allows us to straighten it out, we don't want the first mistake of the game to be we let them go the wrong way. Because we cannot win the officiating battle the rest of the night. Hey, you bunch of clowns, get the calls right. Y'all can't even get the direction right. What are we going to say? You're right. We can't get them right. You know? And then the kids are going to look at you like, what? You know, they don't know. They're all primed. They just want to play. They go shoot on the basket outside if they could. They don't know anything. Okay. Basket interference. I'd like to tie this into goaltending, but we'll kind of do that as we get to goaltending. Basket interference, pretty simple term. Pretty simple. There's a basket, a net, and an imaginary column that goes up to the ceiling for outlet. And the rule is this: any part of the ball that's in that cylinder, if the offense touches it, the ball's dead, it belongs to the defense. If the defense touches it, we count the basket, and then it's the defense's ball. Okay? So nobody can mess with the ball, any part of the ball in that cylinder. This is basket interference. You get a lot of people who will confuse basket interference and goaltending. Two separate things. Does it really matter which one you call it in the scheme of life? Probably not, because the results will be the same. If it's a defensive violation, you're going to score a water basket. If it's an offensive violation, you're going to negate it. But this is basket interference. Okay. If the ball is on the cylinder, with the cylinder on its base, not into it, like if that ball is touching the front of that cylinder, if this was a ring, and the ball had hit the front of it, it's not in the cylinder, no part of it, and it's not on the cylinder with the cylinder as its base. If that ball is on that ring, nobody can touch it. If you touch it, if it's the offense, the ball's dead, ball goes to the defense. Defense touches it, you score the basket, ball goes out of bounds, you can run the line, just like if they had made the basket. Okay? If the ball is in the basket, nobody can touch the ball, any part of the ball, or the net, or the basket. But the ball's got to be in the basket. And the play that you'll have all the time is the ball will be in the cylinder above it. Somebody will hit the net will go off and wrap around the basket, and they'll be screaming basket interference. That's an untrue statement. The ball has to be actually physically in the basket. If you touch the net, the ring, or the ball, got a violation. Score the basket. Offense, dead ball, nothing. Defense, we'll score the basket. Everybody cool with that? Any part of the ball touching or in the cylinder, we can't mess with it. But we can hit this. Okay? Any part of the ball on the rim with the rim is its base, can't mess with it, because anyway. Any ball in the basket, now we can't. There's one exception you'll read in the book. Most of the baskets now are breakaway baskets. That means it's like 240 pounds. I mean, you got to pull it to get it away, but it is possible for some of these big, strong guys to go up there and break this rim away. If the ball's going to go in, and somebody grabs this rim unintentionally, because intentionally grabbing the rim is a whole different rule. They grab the rim, and hits the rim breaks away and comes down. Snaps back into place, ball goes through, misses, we don't care what happens. If that sucker snaps back into place before the ball makes contact with it, we play on. We play on. Everybody's going to be screaming. Can't do that. Can do it, unless it's intentional. So the ball, the rim snaps away, snaps back in, ball comes down, it hits the rim, bounces off, bad shot. Snaps away, breaks away, ball enters it, and now the rim snaps back into place and makes contact. As it's snapping back into place, now we got basket interference. Offense, dead ball, no basket. Defense, award it, give the ball out of bounds, they can run the line. So they are the situations of basket interference. Any part of the ball, on the cylinder, in the cylinder. Any part of the ball, rim is its base. Any part of the ball, in the basket. Any part of the ball that gets hit by a rim snapping back into place, we have a violation. Ball above the basket, hit the net or the rim, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ball in the basket, we just said, we got a problem. Anybody confused over that? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into goaltending, because those are the two terms you hear synonymously. If that's basket interference, it's important when you explain that to a coach. Yes, sir.
So you said if it hits the rim, it's not basket interference. So if he
Give me the play. Give me a play.
He shot the ball, it hit the rim, bounced up 3 feet, and went into the cylinder.
Well, the ball's still in the cylinder, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, what is a player going to hit? Are they going to hit the ball?
Yes.
Okay. Remember my statement. And this is like that original first possession. Don't imagine how the ball got there. Have I ever used the word shot on basket interference? No. Never, because it doesn't have to be a shot. The rule is, if that ball is in or on that cylinder, on the rim or in the basket, nobody can. In fact, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. A1, A2, B2. A throws it in from out of bounds, and it goes in the basket. That's a violation. You can't do that. Just can't do it. Okay? Because you got to throw it into a player on the floor. That's something we'll talk about later. They throw it in and it hangs up in the crotch of the basket. That's a violation. It's the other team's ball because they didn't throw it in. A1 throws the ball to A2. Well, we got this. I'm going to draw this like this. We have to perceive that that's a cylinder. Okay? That's coming this way forever. Ball is passing through that cylinder. That is the ball. And it's going to A2 over in the corner. And B2 goes up and smacks that thing away because it's a pass. It's a pass, right?
Yeah.
It's a pass. Where's that ball? Well, I just tell you, if the defense messes with that ball in the cylinder, we'll count that basket. And now you're going to have the explanation from hell. Because nobody's going to believe you know what you're talking about. But that's the craziest thing in the world. But by rule, and that's the reason I emphasized to you a minute ago, I said nothing about shot. Now when I start talking about goaltending, I'm going to use the term shoot or shot because that's applicable. But on basket interference, you just worry about the relationship of that ball to that imaginary cone, to the rim, or to the basket. And you know that once that sucker gets in there, nobody can ever mess with the ball. Now, whether they can hit the net or the rim determines on the position of the ball. If the ball is now left the cone and entered the basket, now that ball is protected. Nobody can reach up through the basket and hit the ball. If somebody, one of those big guys, reaches up through the net, and let's say the ball is coming down, okay, it's in that cylinder, they reach up through there, and that's basket interference. We only apply the term, the ball in relation to the cylinder and the basket. Shot is just not important. Goaltending, however, has 4 criteria. First one's pretty simple. Got to be a legal try, which knocks out shooting at the wrong basket, right? Because that's not a legal try. Everybody cool with that? Remember we kind of went through that scenario a minute ago. So if I shoot at Verano and I shoot at Highland Springs basket, if nothing happens and it goes in, we'll count it for Highland Springs. But if anything happens, a call, a whistle, we can't, that's not a try. So it's got to be a legal try. Okay, so we can't have goaltending. If this happened, if the Highland Springs guy shot at the Verano basket, okay, and somebody went up and hit it, we can't have goaltending if it's not a legal try, and that's not a legal try. Period. So this first criteria has got to be a legal try. Second one has got to be on its way down. Okay? All right? Got to be coming down. The third one is it's got to be above the rim. Lorenzo Charles. Legal try. Coming down. Maybe short. We know it was short. So no chance to go in, but it was above the rim. It meet all the criteria. Fourth one is it's got to be legal try above the rim, down the flight, chance to go in. If it doesn't meet any of those, it doesn't meet all of those criteria, we can't have goaltending. So if it's not a legal try, we can't have goaltending. If it's not on the way down, we can't have goaltending. In high school, you can pin the ball on the board. Somebody made that call in the summer league. Ball went up, reached its highest apex, defender pinned it on the board, legal try. I mean, legal play. Now, once it starts down, we're not worried about goal. I mean, we're not worried about basket interference because we got a legal try. It's coming down. It's above the rim. Certainly got a chance to go in. Anybody messes with it, if the offense touches it, dead ball. Ball in bounds defense. If the defense touches it, we'll award the basket. So what's important for us as officials is to know the difference between the two terms. Because what the question that you're going to get asked is, hey, they didn't shoot that ball. Basket. Coach, basket interference doesn't have a shot as a requirement. You will just stop them in their tracks if you say that, because they'll have to go back to the bench, and by the time they quit thinking, you'll be gone. I mean, really, it really confuses coaches if you give them a rule the way it's written in the book. It baffles them. Okay, that in big words. So if you say, there's just absolutely no way in any situation at all, coach, and you've now lost them, and we can have goaltending on that play because that didn't involve a shot, but it was in the cylinder, and we got to award that back. Oh, you tell them that long, you have to be right. Goaltending, however, is different. Goaltending, it's got to be a shot. It's got to be above the rim, down the plate, chance to go in. Pretty simple. Okay? Everybody cool with that?
Two questions.
Yeah.
First, all of these coaches that are out there, are they required to read the same rule book as we are?
Okay, what's your second one?
Okay. Second one is...
Wait a minute, for the camera, the first question was, are the coaches required to read the same book we are? Everybody on the other side of that camera knows the answer to that is no. None of them read that book.
Okay.
Okay.
Second question, so if it's a last second shot, kid is trying to throw the ball from three-quarter court, and he throws the ball, at his basket, and a kid on the other end, the defender, jumps up, knocks it down. What is that considered? Is that basket?
Well, let's ask that question. We got a long throw for a last second. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's paint the picture. Time is winding down. We've got the opportunity to score. We have a non-traditional shot. See, that's the kind of term that confuses coaches. That's a perfect example. You say non-traditional.
But you still have your four.
And they won't catch up with you for a whole period. It's a non-traditional shot, but now a defender messes with the ball.
Correct.
We have to decide whether it's goaltending, did it get to the basket interference, did it get to the basket? Most likely your scenario is no, it's somewhere out there on the way down. Legal try? Sure. Who might have, I don't know whether they were throwing, well, certainly they were trying to score. It doesn't matter a legal try, whether it's from back court, front court. We know the only place they can't shoot is from out of bounds. So legal try, yes. I now have to use my judgment as to, was it on the downward flight? Yes. They could have hit it if it was on the way up. So let's say it's coming down. It's coming down somewhere around mid-court. Okay? Okay? Is it above the rim? Certainly it's above the rim. The last one, in my mind, has got to be, does this shot actually have a chance to go in? And that's probably something I can't tell you yes or no. You have to be in the moment. If I think that thing, in my judgment, has a chance to go in, then we've got goaltending. If it doesn't have a chance to go in, we've got nothing. North Carolina State.
Yeah.
You know, it was a try, it was above the rim, it was a downward flight, but it was never going to go. It was in front of the rim. So we don't care where he went up and got that ball, it was never going in the basket. However, if that ball had traveled 2 more feet and been in the cylinder, just minusculely, and he'd have made the same play, Valvano would have never been running around looking like that. He'd still been out there trying to sell them guys those Trans Ams he gave. And see, y'all think that's a lie. I know that's true, because
I don't doubt that.
I can tell you it's true. They'd be sitting out there when I go in the gym to referee, listen to the headphones in the Trans Am. I'd be in there dressed, and they'd still be in the car. Maybe 30 minutes before the game, they'd come on in, get dressed, and go shoot. So, just the way it was. I mean, that's the way of the game. Okay, we know basket interference. Block charging. Okay, blocking. Illegal personal contact, which impedes the progress of an opponent. Illegal contact. Okay? That's a defensive play. The defense has made an illegal contact on an opponent without the ball. Charging is illegal personal contact, like causing, pushing, or moving somebody. It can be defense or offense. The difference between a player control foul charge and a regular charge is a player control foul is me running over you, whereas I might just push you out of the way and then break off a pick to go somewhere. That's a push or charge. Okay, so that's what that says. A player who's moving with the ball is required to stop or change direction to avoid contact if the defensive player has obtained a legal guarding position. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but let me take us. This is a perfect floor for this example. We've got probably 1,000 tiles in here. Each tile is a spot on the floor. And the basketball rule book is written like this. If this blue tile right here, if I get to this tile as a defender, get both of my feet on the floor. They don't have to be on the tile, but they have to be on the floor. 2 feet on the floor, and I'm facing who I'm guarding initially. I don't have to remain facing them. But at the point that I'm being officiated, to tell whether I'm legal or not, I have to get to this tile, have 2 feet down, and be facing you with the ball. If you have the ball, there's total responsibility on your part to avoid contact. The difference between that responsibility changing is me lifting this foot 1/8 of an inch off the floor versus putting it down. If this foot has never gotten down, foul's will be on me. If this foot is down, it doesn't matter where you were. You can be where Jerry is. You can be right here. You can be right on the very front end of that blue dot. Time and distance are never a factor if you've got the ball in your possession and I get to this spot first. Because the book says you have to expect to be guarded. Now, let me answer 2 questions that you have in your mind. Well, let's say they're in the air. Well, a player in the air has to always be allowed to return to the floor because they don't have full control of their body. Which means if I wasn't at this spot before they left the floor, then I'm not considered to be legal because I've gotten here after they left the floor. So that foul's will be a blocking foul. It's on me because I came in here late. If I'm here and you decide to jump from there after I get here, that foul's on you because you were on the floor and you had that option. Cool with that? Okay, that's good. A player without the ball completely, just running down the floor, has to be allowed up to 2 steps to stop and change directions. Period. So if somebody's running down the floor and they're where you are, that's 2 steps from me. I can get right here, and if you run on me, the foul's on you. If you running down the floor, and doesn't matter, you might be looking back over your shoulder for a pass, you might be just running. And I slide in here and I get 2 feet down, but I'm only a step from you. That foul's on me. Because you have the right by rule to be able to react to me. And I can't just run around and be jumping in front of you. Can't do it, okay? So that's 3 scenarios. Who's responsible if you have the ball in your control? Notice I didn't say where you were looking. You may be receiving a pass from Jerry and looking backwards. You might turn and look at Reggins right now. He throws you the ball, you catch it, and immediately when you catch it, you turn and run back over me. First thing you go hear is, hey, that's a block. They didn't give him a chance to stop. Not the rule. Rule is if you've got the ball. Now if you fumble it, now the rule changes because you don't have the ball. Now I got to give you 2 steps. So where I'm coming from as I talk about this is, if you had a choice of refereeing an offensive player or a defensive player, which one, Jay, do you think you'd always referee?
Defense.
Defense. Why? Because if we can definitely say we have obvious knowledge that the defense was legal or illegal, then we can almost say unequivocally we can get 99% of our calls right. Because if the defense wasn't legal 99% of the time, the defense is who the foul's on. Because they've never gotten to where they need to get. Doesn't matter what the offense does. But if the defense gets to where they are supposed to be legally, by rule, 2 feet down, face the opponent. At that point, they're legal if you've got the ball. Responsibility's on you. They can cover up. I don't have to have somebody run over me and kill me. I can protect myself as long as I've gotten here. As an official, you will be taught 2 things. You always know which the pivot foot is for the dribbler. You always know whether the defense is legal. You can hardly ever miss a travel and never miss a foul on a defender charge block. If you can say you know that you saw the defender. What happens is you see contact, and then you try to figure out whether the defensive player was there. And then you start guessing, and then you miss half your calls. And that's when you become inconsistent. It's a block, and it's a charge, and it's a block, and it's a charge. The reason it's a block, charge, is because you're never seeing the defender. You're just watching the game. Okay, so now we got the defender with the ball. Time and distance are not a factor. Then we have the player in the air. With or without the ball, a player in the air has got to be allowed to come down. Then we have a player who's coming down the floor without the ball. We have to give them up to 2 steps to stop and change directions. And last but not least, what happens if you're following me so close that I stop? You see this about once every blue moon, and then you run over me. The person behind is responsible for the contact, not the person in front. Person behind, yeah.
If the defender gets to a spot that passes, guy's going to catch a pass right in front of him, doesn't have the 2 steps, but he goes up in the air, catches it, and then runs into the defender.
Okay.
Which
you just answered your own question. He didn't have 2 steps, right?
correct.
Okay, and he didn't have the ball to start with, right?
So he's
Wait a minute, I'm going to ask you one more thing. And he fumbled the ball when he was catching it, is that right? He didn't.
no, he caught the ball.
Then okay, what did I just say? On an offensive player in possession of the ball, I'm not trying to be, this is a good time for me to kind of make this point the way I'll make it all year and you won't know it's personal. What did I say? On a player in possession of the ball, is time and distance ever a factor? No. So what you call? Charge.
Charge. But he didn't have the ball when he left the court.
Left the floor or the court?
Left the floor.
Well, what did I say about a player in the air? They have to what? Always be allowed to come down. So now, I don't mean it sarcastically, but you changed the play. You took me from a player that could have been on the floor with the ball, the time and distance wasn't a factor, to a place where a player with the ball but off the floor comes down and hits a player who wasn't there when he left the floor. That's an easy call. Block. Because I have to be here before they jump. Now, if I'm here, and they're running down the floor, and they jump, and they catch the ball, and they come down and hit me, that's a charge. Because I was here before they ever left the floor. Okay? We're good on that? Everybody understand all my scenarios? That's a great scenario.
All right, you're on the blue square, for example. They pass
You
the
can
ball.
tell by this, don't you? I'm trying to get tricked now, don't y'all?
No.
He knows me, so he's trying to trick me. I can tell by the way his beard is turned white.
But first, there's no blue square.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a blue one right there.
Right. But I catch the ball and turn and knock you down.
Okay. Did you have the ball?
When I turned, I had the ball.
Okay, wait, no, I'm gonna ask, you know me well enough to know, so I'm asking you the scenario the way that I like to ask the question as an interpreter. Did you have the ball?
Yes,
Okay, were you on the floor?
yes.
Who's responsible for contact? Amen, brother. Doesn't matter. Time and distance, remember. Throw that statement in. If you, remember that was one where I said, you're looking back from Regis, and you turn, that's me. You got 1 foot on the floor, 1 foot in the air, and you'll catch a pass from Regis, you turn and you just run right over me. Only question is, did I have 2 feet down or was I facing you before I hit you? If I'm in the air, whole different play. I didn't catch it, I fumbled it, whole different play. But remember, a player in possession of the ball. You will find that in this class, what I try to do is I try to teach you what is wrong. Don't clutter your mind with anything other than the 2 factors that you're concerned with on a charge block. Was the defender legal? Yes or no? If the answer is no, we don't need to think about anything else. Foul on the defender, right? I mean, pretty simple. I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, the odds are there in our favor. Even if we miss a sucker, it's hard to miss because the defender was never legal. So if the defender's not legal, it's kind of hard to get a foul on the offensive player. I mean, because the book gives you that scenario on the premise that in order for the defender to be fouled, they must have a legal guarding position. So if the answer is no, then we can go with it's a defensive foul. If the answer is yes, then the only thing we have to know is, did the player on offense have the ball? If they didn't, were they in the air? And that's it. Nothing else. We don't have to think about we don't have to clutter our minds with all this stuff and all this minutia. Because the answer is, no, they didn't have the ball. And yes, they were legal, so time and distance weren't a factor, unless they didn't. If they didn't, then if you give them 2 steps, no, then we're not legal. Right? I mean, you see where I'm coming from. It's easy for me to say. I'm not trying to say it fast to prove you I know it. I'm just trying to tell you and show you and teach you that in your computer, in your checklist, that's the way you need to remember this. I'm refereeing the defender. I need to be able to say the defense is legal or illegal. If the defense is legal, it's hard for me to miss this offensive foul. If the defense is not legal, it's hard for me to miss this defensive foul. I don't have to be worried about the other half of the equation if I know the relationship of the defender to the rule. Right? I mean, right? Kind of like oversliding second base. You either are past the base, you're not past the base. If you go past it, probably we got a problem. Yeah. It is what it is. It's a rule. So, yeah.
Defenders gets to a spot, 2 step, or guy's got the ball.
Okay.
Defender moves his right foot to square up more.
Okay, then my question would be this. We saw the defender. As the offensive player approached, are they, one, do they have the ball?
Yes.
If they have the ball, then the only thing we need to know is, did the defender change their position to another legal position? If they didn't get their foot down, the answer is no. If they got their foot down, the answer is yes. So again, all we need to do is qualify that defender. Once we qualify the defender, it becomes an easy play.
So if he gets into his position and then picks up his foot, he's no longer legal.
He's given up his right to be a legal defender. Okay. Because he's changing his spot on the floor. Now that spot belongs to whoever gets there first. And if the offensive player gets there and he's not illegal, foul on the offense. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay? It won't take like a 3 or 4 minute, not long, but maybe a 3-minute break just to relax for a minute. And then we'll go for about another hour. We'll be out of here. But I know you gotta get tired, yeah,
Got this for a minute?
yeah, just cut for a
Okay.
second. Good.